Lami, how you doing, man? Long time, long time.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. It's been a while, man. Life is lifing hard. Life is hard, man. But it's good to
It
be
is.
back. Hello,
It is good
everyone.
to be
Welcome back
back.
to Two Grown Men.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is
It's
everyone
good to
doing?
see.
Hope you guys are doing great.
Yeah, me, how's the
So,
summer on your side?
summer is still going. Not bad, oh, not bad.
Mm.
Very little rain. 2 months. It's been nice. It's been nice. I'm going to
Oh,
wear
that's
my
good.
shorts, t-shirts, and
Oh,
not a
nice,
jacket in sight. Which is
nice,
good.
nice,
Which is good. Yeah.
nice.
So I've been
So you've had
enjoying the
four
summer.
days of summer this year instead of normal one day. You've had a few days.
Yeah, we've had a few 20 early. I think one time I was driving and it was 32 or 33 in the
Wow,
in
that's
the
Lagos.
temperature. That's like
That's
Lagos,
Lagos.
Lagos,
That's
Lagos
like
level.
Lagos, man. That's
Yes.
Lagos.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's been. We
Are
thank
people
God. It's
are
been
people
the
dying
weather's
of,
been
of
good.
heat stroke yet? Are people dying of heat stroke yet?
They like it. I think they like it. Just yeah, they're taking every opportunity to get into their gardens and do barbecues and just buy
Mm,
beer. So people
mm.
are enjoying it. Yeah, they're
And
enjoying
ice
it.
cream.
And ice cream, exactly.
Mm.
Ice cream, cold beers, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because the weather is great as you know already now. So
Mm,
any opportunity to enjoy the sunshine. Because that's
mm.
pretty much why a lot of British people travel abroad for sunshine,
Yeah, for the
one of the
sunshine.
reasons
So,
anyway. So if the sunshine is here, they're like, okay, that is
you
actually
might as
great.
well.
Yeah.
Might as
Mm.
well. Let's talk, Kemi.
Let us talk about Kemi Badenoch, to be precise.
Hey! Wahala!
Kemi, who no longer identifies as a Nigerian or Allah.
My
What's your
question
take
is
on it, Yemi?
why? Why? What did Nigeria do to her?
There were some headlines over the weekend that seem to suggest you no longer identify as being Nigerian. Of course, you were born in this country, you spent your childhood in Nigeria. Were those headlines accurately reflecting what you were saying? What's your sort of status in terms of how you identify British, Nigerian, all the rest of it?
Well, I think that the BBC certainly wrote that headline. It wasn't quite what I said, but it is true. My main identity is as British. That is what I see myself as. Nigeria is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. There's no such language as Nigerian. There are lots of different ethnic groups there. And I think that as a politician in this country, we need to be very focused on what is happening here, not what's happening elsewhere. And every day, I see loads of Labour MPs in particular talking about every other country except the UK. If you come to this country, you need to be very focused on making sure that you integrate. And if you're a politician, you need to be 100% focused on British issues. And that's basically what I was saying. Hey!
Because we've discussed Kemi before on this platform.
Yeah.
We had,
Oh yeah.
had
Oh
a
yeah.
conversation, and we're talking about something completely different then.
Mm.
But
She was talking about the immigration thing at that time and her experience in
yes,
Nigeria at that time.
yes. But it seems she's not letting this go.
Mm.
It seems she's not letting this go. So she came up with a statement, like you said, and said she no longer identifies herself as Nigerian. And I think
Mm-hmm.
did she say she doesn't have a Nigerian passport, or I think she said something about she was trying to get a Nigerian passport for her child or her children.
Yeah, she said
And
two controversial things. She said one that she cannot pass citizenship to her children because she's a woman.
There are many people who come to our country, to the UK, who do things that would not be acceptable in their countries. It's virtually impossible, for example, to get Nigerian citizenship. I had that citizenship by virtue of my parents. I can't give it to my children because I'm a woman. Yet loads of Nigerians come to the UK, stay for a relatively brief period of time, acquire British citizenship. We need to stop being naive.
And then she said she no longer identifies because obviously there was now a lot of pushback on that. Because again, Kemi is look, I've defended Kemi. Look, I've spoken in favor of Kemi a few times. I've said publicly and on several fora that look, Kemi is allowed to tell her truth. And you and I in our chat, we
yes,
talked about our experiences growing up, whether it
course,
was
of
not
course.
having water. I mean, you lived in VI and you didn't have
Mhm.
water, having to take
Mhm.
buy water from people who are bringing water upstairs over the stairs. I mean,
I've fetched
everyone
water
has
before
their
now.
yeah, exactly. Everyone has their gnarly experiences in Nigeria. And so when you say, "Oh, you can't talk about it because it makes us look bad," I'm sorry, that's not true, and that's not fair. I should be allowed to talk about my negative experiences. It might, whether or not it shames the country, you can't silence my truth. Has been my take on that thing. Has been my take on it. If Kemi says the police robbed my brother, the thing I've always said to people is that, is it impossible? And everyone says no. Everyone has a story about something that's happened to them at the hands of the Nigerian police. So is she telling a lie? Unless you have evidence that she's lying, the truth of the matter is that you can't. I mean, you can't tell her not to speak about the things that she actually experienced because you don't like those things. It's her truth, right? However bad it makes us look, it's her truth, it's her truth, it's her truth. And she should be allowed to speak about it. However, some people have said, look, Kemi, get our name off your mouth. Get our name out of your mouth. Like, stop talking about us, Talk about Baby Jolo. If nobody's asked you something specifically tied to Nigeria, then why are you talking about us? And which leads us to the next one where they asked her something and she goes, I can't even pass Nigerian citizenship to my children, it's the constitution. I mean, it's a lie.
It's a big lie.
It's now been discussed to death. The 1979 Constitution of Nigeria, the 1979 Constitution of Nigeria, and the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria
As amended.
Very clear. Very, very clear that you take it from your grandparents. As long as your grandparents are Nigerian, then your parents are Nigerian and you are Nigerian yourself. You have a right to citizenship. So, in fact, I even thought it was a long-standing, that it was a recent change, that maybe the older constitution had a different provision. Then I went back and read the 1979 constitution.
It's inconsistent.
And it's consistent. In 1979, in 1999, it's very, very consistent that you can pass citizenship to your child, whether you're a man or woman. For as long as you're a Nigerian citizen, you can pass it to your children. So what was the basis of this statement that Kemi made? And why? What's your take on it?
So she was on the Rosebud podcast when she made this statement that although she's Nigerian by ancestry and birth, she does not identify herself as Nigerian. She said, I'm Nigerian through ancestry by birth, but by identity, I am not really. And she also added that she had not renewed a Nigerian passport in over 2 decades. She knows the country well, but home is where my family, where now family is, right? I think why she feels this way is based on previous comments and the comments on that particular podcast. She never felt she truly belonged in Nigeria growing up. So I think this thing is there's some, I don't know what to call it. There's something, what, when you are somewhere, you feel like you don't belong there. You are there, but you feel you don't belong there. So there's an identity. I think there's an identity crisis going up there. Obviously, she moved to UK in 16, like a lot of people who are privileged or were able to get scholarships for either safety reasons or educational reasons, mainly for educational reasons, right? But for me, the broader implications is she was looking at identity more on emotional terms rather than legal terms. That's the way I see it. So although I think she distinguished between legal nationality, that which is her, being born as a Nigerian, and then emotionally, I think she identifies as British. Her mindset, right? Emotionally, she identifies as British through her life since she's been here, through her experiences. Most of the time when she talks about Nigeria, she talks about negative. She talks about negative experiences. So one wonders, did you not have one positive experience? That's the first question I have. Was it the whole time between birth to 16? Was it all horrible in Nigeria? There was nothing good about the country? Or did you just have a few bad experiences that were so traumatic that even now you are not able to move forward? As expected, there was a lot of backlash in the UK, lots of memes, lots of political commentators, lots of individuals have honed on it, and they've said, we've heard you. You said it, we've heard you, but you're constantly going on about it. Like, okay, so what value is that adding? That's how
What's
people
your
are
point?
feeling now in the UK. Yes, what value? You said it, fine, we hear you, but now you're repeating the same thing. And people are even saying that if it's a political strategy, the people are not also seeing where others have done a similar political strategy that it has materialized into success. So we have Rishi Sunak, we have Barack Obama, we have a whole bunch of other people who are able to walk and chew gum at the same time, despite Barack not living in Kenya at any point of his life. I think he went to see his father once. And then he went during his tenure as the American president to visit Kenya. Of course, his dad was living by then. But he talked about it in one or two speeches.
He wrote his book about going to, wrote about his father. He went to Kenya, wrote about his meeting his sisters, his grandmother in Kenya.
Exactly.
I read the book.
Yeah.
Rishi Sunak.
Exactly.
I mean, these guys, sorry to interrupt you. Go on, Yemi. Go on.
No. So I don't see where I don't see, like you said, everyone has their truth, they have their own thing that they can say, and people should not be silenced. I'm not saying she should stop talking, she should keep talking as much as she wants to. But my point is, now, what's the value, right? What is the value of these conversations? What's the value? I'm not getting it. I really am not getting what that value is. No, I believe it's more of in a way throwing Nigeria under the bus. You understand? That's the way I see it.
It's not just under the bus.
Nigeria, yeah,
it's not throwing Nigeria under the bus. Yeah. It's tying Nigeria in front of a train. Hey, under the bus is still no. It's throwing Nigeria in front of a train, and then making the train drive over Nigeria and then reverse and drive and reverse and drive and reverse. Because it makes no sense.
Nigeria is like a punching bag.
Yeah.
That's the way
a very convenient punching bag. Yeah.
A very convenient punching bag. Yeah.
See, I don't, like I said before, I had previously defended Kemi's perspective and said, you don't silence someone for talking about their experiences. But I don't understand why you're having a conversation they've not asked you about Nigeria specifically.
No.
And you just segue onto, oh, by the way, those Nigerians, their constitution delegates my rights as a woman, as I cannot pass citizenship to my children. Oh, Nigerian police, they're terrible. Oh, this is wrong with Nigeria. That's wrong with Nigeria. She talked about her secondary school. That secondary school she went to, FGC Shagamu, was like a prison camp.
Imagine.
And socialism. But you know something? I went to an FGC myself.
Yeah.
And yes, conditions were terrible. But when you liken it to a prison camp,
that's a stretch.
And then when you look, it's the boarding school. I'm pretty certain that if you went back 40 years, that the boarding school system in a lot of these civilized Western countries would have a lot of practices in there that we would find objectionable today. And so when you go, and then what was the point of that? They would say Kile Sodebe in Yoruba. What was the subject of your conversation that led you to that particular segue? Did they ask you specifically about your experience in Nigeria? Or are you just, like you said, are we just your convenient punching bag? You know, are we just this thing that you use to show people that you're relatable, or that you have you're trying to show that you're more British than the British. You're trying to show this loyalty. And I'm sorry, it's a very mistaken thing, because like you've said, Barack Obama, Rishi Sunak, what's the name of the mayor of London?
Sadiq Khan.
These guys also have foreign
origins.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've not heard any of them, forgive my French, shit on their countries the way Kemi shits on us. And it's by all means, look, you don't have to talk about Nigeria. Just keep the name out of your mouth. You don't need to be more British than the British. Just don't talk about it. But I'm sure that in the Houses of Parliament and the House of Lords, there are other foreign-born individuals who hold dual citizenship. Certainly in the U.S. government, you know how many U.S. congressmen and women have dual Israeli and American citizenship? Do you know how many? A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Do you know how many U.S. congressmen and women have a second passport? There are quite a few. They don't need to prove their Americanness by crapping on America. In fact, you know what they do? They become so American without talking about where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not just the politicians, right? It's also just people who are in prominent positions. How many people do you see going back to abuse the place where they were born?
Very true. Very true.
I don't know. I don't know for Kemi, honestly. Yeah. And then, you know, you talk about the FGC was supposedly the elite schools, but they were rubbish. That's what you call self-loathing, right?
Pro Max.
That's self-loathing. Why do you need to crap on the country where your father and mother are from, where you lived the first few years of your life? It goes, I mean, you don't need to do these things to score cheap points. You don't need to. So why do it? So, and then there's the blatant lie about the Constitution. You lied
about the 1999.
She lied. So she
you can definitely get citizenship.
She's
either
not even
you're male or female. Yeah, you can.
She didn't even do her research.
Yeah.
So how are you the head of the Conservative Party if you don't even get your facts right?
Right.
She's never come back to say, "Oh, I was wrong about it."
Like a disclaimer or like a statement.
So she's owning the lie. She's hoping that she'll then deflect from the lie by saying more outlandish stuff. Why? And then she goes, "I don't identify." So when the backlash got too strong, she says, "Oh, by the way, I don't identify as Nigerian." Can you see the progression? So she craps on us. We attack her, or rather, let's put it this way: she craps on us again.
Again, yeah.
But this time by telling a blatant lie against us. This one is now a blatant lie. It's not just your truth. It's not an unpleasant truth. It's a brazen lie. And then we rightly get upset and we're like, what nonsense? What are you doing? And her response is to say, by the way, I don't identify as Nigerian anymore. Madam, even if you were not ever Nigerian, nothing gives you the right to tell lies about us. Even if you don't want to be a Nigerian anymore, like, get away, go, be gone. Be British, be Scottish, be whatever you want to be in this life. You don't
be American,
need
be French.
crap.
Yeah.
And then your children have a Nigerian heritage. And that, look, Barack Obama owned his Kenyan heritage, right?
Yes.
He never turned around, and we've said this already. I don't want to flog a dead horse, but he's able to navigate this world by saying, look, he doesn't talk about being African, doesn't talk about it, but he wrote a whole book about it. He's American. Barack Obama is American. In fact, you can even understand Barack more than you can understand Kemi, because Barack never lived in Kenya. By all means, I don't think he even knew his father. He had no actual relationship with Kenya. Kemi went to school in Nigeria.
Yeah. Primary school, secondary school, finished secondary school before coming to the UK. So a lot of the formative years.
So you have an actual relationship. And like you said, it cannot be all bad. It can't be that your first 16 years in Nigeria was so bad. And you know me, I tell the truth about Nigeria. Look, I say this is the land of grave injustice, that we can be crazy here. But it's not to then get to the point where you now tell lies.
Absolutely. You know the funny thing?
It shouldn't be.
The funny thing is, not just Kemi Badenoch, myself, probably you as well. I believe we received a better education in Nigeria than we would have probably had as inner city working class Black children in the UK at the time that we went to school in the 90s. And why do I say so? Because a lot of us that came to the UK, we were able to thrive in terms of academically. I can't remember anybody who missed half a step. And you and I know a few friends, mutual friends that we have that seamlessly finished SSC and came here and did A levels, and they smashed their A levels, and they were able to, not everybody was able to get into a Russell Group school, but quite some people were able to get into.
Yeah, we have friends that went to Oxford and Cambridge, and all they did was
seamlessly, and they did
Imperial, UCL, Kings.
That says that even if it's just the educational system that you're talking about, which obviously is not perfect, but at least it's then, I don't know about now, then it was at a good level. So even if that's the only thing you can say, that my background, although there are parts of my background I didn't like, that gave me the resilience and grit to come to the UK and become who I am today. And if you know you don't want to say anything positive about your country, then maybe you should just leave us out of your mouth. Yeah.
You know that
where's the cultural awareness? Where's the language skills? Where's the knowledge of self-confidence in self? Where are the debating skills that you learned? Did you just come to the UK and from 16?
Confidence you learned, the innate confidence that we carry because we're Nigerian. You go out there and you go wherever you are in the US, wherever it is, and people see you, you're a Black person, you carry this aura. Someone says, "Are you Nigerian?" And it's present in us more than in any other African race.
Yes.
More than any other.
This is not just Laomi and I talking. These are feedback we're hearing from other people.
Oh yeah. Nigerians, we smash it. Whether it's in investment banking, whether it's City of London, whether it's on Wall Street, in music, whatever it is. In medicine, in the NHS, you have Nigerian doctors, you have Nigerian nurses,
and they're smashing it.
And in smashing it, okay, whether it's the US medical system, all right, look, whether it's a Forbes list of African billionaires or global billionaires, there are Nigerians smashing it. There are countries in Africa that don't have a single billionaire, right? They don't have a single dollar billionaire. Nigeria now has multiples. Homegrown, not the ones that made their money abroad.
Homegrown.
Because you might argue, Bayo Ogunlesi made his money on Wall Street. The Calendly guy made his money in the US. You can make those arguments.
But we also have homegrown.
You can make those arguments. But you have guys that made their money here.
Yeah.
And look, take away the billionaires for a second. Billionaires sort of skew the conversation.
Yeah.
If you look at the people between $10 million to
100.
$500 million. All right. If you could put that particular matrix, all right, that particular demographic in there, there are loads of there are countries that have very few people in that demographic. Nigeria has loads. Of course, it's by virtue of our population as well. I mean, but
That
it's
gets
also our
inherited,
ability
but
to
it's also about the ingenuity and the
Yeah.
talent.
Yep, it's also our ability to harness the opportunities around us.
Yeah.
And our confidence, our belief that we can make it.
So as
And
rocky,
so we're market leaders wherever we go. As bad as he bad.
as rocky as it was, this explains what you said.
Kemi-
Explains why many Nigerians and their offsprings are swiftly
Thrive.
emerging and have been emerging at the top.
Yes,
And it's
in
across
fact,
board, like you said.
even the Kemi that's talking, can Kemi discount the things she learned in Nigeria? The confidence that
It's
that
sad,
is in
man.
it from being
Sad.
Nigeria. Can you separate that from everything you've achieved? Can Kemi say that if I had been born in London, in the inner city in London, I would have gotten to where I got today?
Confidently.
Leader of the Conservative Party.
Hmm.
What gave her the confidence to dream in the first place that she could be it? And let's not forget that when Kemi first started, you've seen her first appeal for support. She paid up, I am a Nigerian. She wrote to Nigerians in the UK and said, I am Nigerian.
In South London, I saw it on
Please
Facebook.
support me. Please support me. I am one of us. I will go and fight for our interests. So you're now there, and then you want to now deny. It's like you climbed on a ladder, right? And when you got to where you were going to, you turn around and push the ladder so that nobody else will climb after you. Or even you turned around and then started to abuse that ladder and deny that ladder and say, that ladder, nobody helped me. I got here by myself. There was something that Barack Obama said. I keep quoting Barack Obama. When he's talking about community, he said, the person that built the multi-billion-dollar business, you didn't do it alone.
Nope.
He said, I didn't get here alone. It took an entire community. So when Kemi talks about Nigeria, that FGGC in Shagamu, that federal government girls' college in Shagamu,
they are part of our
success. Teachers who were there, those teachers, that principal, everyone that was part of that school system poured something. They gave her something, even if it was through adversity. But you rose. Look, like it or not, something rubbed off on you. Even if it was the fact that you had to be tenacious, that tenacity is part of your journey. And would you have had that tenacity if you didn't come up through that system? So why would you want to shit on that system? I'm sorry. And I've heard some pretty damning things people have said about her. Some things that I would not print. Some things that I find objectionable. But our people say that if you didn't leave room for people to say these things about you, nobody would talk this crap about you. Literally, it means that if the wall didn't open, the lizard wouldn't go into it. There'll be no opening for the lizard to crawl into. So if you didn't say these stupid things that you said, there'd be no reason for Nigerians to attack you. There'd be no reason why Nigerians would unite. Suddenly, Nigerians of different political spectrums, different ethnic groups are united in saying one thing: we don't like you. Shut up and keep quiet. Benue song, you're talking nonsense. Like, keep our name out of your mouth. It's wrong now. It was like a prison yard. There are problems. Why don't you use your platform?
Very damaging and annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying statement.
Why don't you use your platform to fix the problem? Why don't you use your platform to be an instrument of change? Why must you use your platform to be so divisive? Why must you use your platform to be, there's a word, to be a derogatory influence, a derogatory reference of Nigeria? Because now you've become, if someone says people from a shithole country, I mean, you've described Nigeria as a shithole country now, over and over again, repeatedly, gleefully. I'm not even going to try and translate that. But you failed to paint your father's land in. You've actually no, that's not even the word. You've actively chosen to abuse your fatherland. You might say you have two father's lands or two fatherlands, whatever the proper term is. But your children have a Nigerian heritage. Do you want them to grow up resenting that part of them? Your children are part Nigerian.
Of course. And they always will be. Yeah.
They always will be. And you have people who are just 1/4 Nigerian who are proud to say, I'm partly Nigerian. My grandmother is Nigerian. You know? My father is half Nigerian. Therefore, I'm a quarter Nigerian. I'm proud to be Nigerian. And they won't identify with Nigeria. You have people like Ludacris coming to Gabon the other day to get a Gabonese passport.
To get a and Sierra just got a
Gabonese passport. Yeah.
Citizenship, yeah.
People are proud to go back to Africa and say, we are African. And you want to deny that, and not just deny
doing DNA, ancestry tests, and all of that.
They're wanting to
belong
sense of
to identity, something. And you have a sense of identity, and you're throwing it away.
And you want to throw it away.
Yeah. So I'm reading something now. Okay, go ahead.
I have news for you. So in the US, you can renounce your American citizenship. There is no such provision to stop being Nigerian.
No, it's very difficult.
You can't. There's no provision for it. You can't say, I am no longer Nigerian. The best you can do is you will not collect a Nigerian passport. You won't renew it.
But that doesn't stop you being a Nigerian.
Guess what? Because you are Nigerian, your grandchildren can come back one day and claim that Nigerian passport that you are denied.
Yes. That you threw away. That you said you're not going to renew.
Yeah. And in doing this, you're also denying your children certain privileges and rights. So look at Barack Obama. Okay? Kenyan father, white mother. All right? American mother. He came back. He was American president, right? He was American president. What Kemi is doing is making sure that her children. Now look at Jerry Rawlings. My understanding is that Jerry Rawlings' father is Scottish, right? And his mother is Ghanaian. Okay? But what you're doing now is making sure that your children can never be Nigerian president. Do you grab? Yeah, Jerry Rawlings' father was a British scientist. He was Scottish. But what you're doing is making sure that your children can never, ever come back and be Nigerian president or governor in Nigeria.
Or even senator. It's going to be difficult. They'll remind them.
Or senator.
They'll remind them. Yeah.
Do you remember Nigeria's finance minister, Kemi Adegoke,
yes.
who was born in England, lived in England all her life?
Yes.
And came back to be Nigeria's finance minister. What Kemi has done is made sure that it becomes difficult for her children, no matter what they want to contribute.
She's not even seeing the big picture.
No.
Because of selfish interest. You touched on something earlier, and for me, it's also there are some contradictions in this particular lady. You know, you're always allowed to change your mind. We're human, and I'm not going to say anything I say now. In 10 years, I might be saying something different. But when there's a pattern, you have to question the mindset of the individual making a statement. So I'm reading the New Statesman at the moment, and it says there's an article I'm reading where it says she went to University of Sussex, and it says okay, let me just quickly read it to you. It says, until 2005, Blair's Britain had not been particularly kind to Kemi Adegoke, which is her maiden name. Having grown up in Nigeria, she arrived in Britain in 1996. She attended a further education college, eventually studying computer systems engineering at the University of Sussex. Adegoke found that she was classed, in her words, as Black in Britain and placed within a Black culture I didn't recognize. In Nigeria, her family were upper middle class, ethnically Yoruba, and until the country began to slide towards military dictatorship in the 1980s, wealthy. But most of Badenoch's youth, the family were doing well by Nigerian standards. Her distant cousin Feyi Fawemi told me. He emphasized that by the time the Adegoke sent Kemi to Britain in 1996, as the Nigerian economy tanked, the family had suffered a significant loss in status. Her status declined further in Britain. In her telling, teachers expected little from her because she was black. The soft bigotry of low expectations, as she later condemned them, she was encouraged not to apply to Oxford. At the University of Sussex, as she later told an interviewer, she was surrounded by stupid lefty white kids who didn't know what they were talking about. Nobody treated her with the deference she had enjoyed as a child. Her father was a clubbable member of the Yoruba elite, a member of the Ibadan Grammar School Old Boys Association, and the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. At his memorial service in Nigeria in February 2002, take note, guys, 2002, just 3 years ago. 2022, my apologies.
Okay.
2022, my apologies. A tearful Badenoch summed up his life. He liked everything to be done properly. He was conservative and patriotic, the inspiration of Badenoch's life, whom she sought to follow in. In the eulogy, Badenoch gave to her father the respect is clear. He knew I cared about Nigeria and that I still love this country as much as I love the UK. So, allow me, where is the disconnect? In some articles, you're saying something. In another place, you're saying something else. Is it both?
I think it's expedient. I think it's now politically expedient for her to.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because now she's leader of the. Because
she needs to be whiter than the white.
So the leadership. Now, that I like what you're saying now. Is the leadership a factor in these utterances that she's been making of late? Is it the fact that she's now leader of the Conservative Party that is making her, like you said, whiter than white? Like, I need to show you guys that I'm with you 100%. So my allegiance to Nigeria should never be questioned. Don't even go to that.
That area. There's that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
part
that.
of it.
There's that. But I don't think
that's not the full story, though.
Go on.
No. I'm saying that probably that's not the full story. That's part of it.
I was going to say that I don't think that this is madness without some sort of pattern. I don't think it's random madness. I don't think you become leader of the Conservative Party. I don't think you get that far without. And Kemi's, by all accounts, very, very intelligent. All right, she's very intelligent. So I don't think that she's done this without some sort of strategy, without some sort of calculation. It's a cynical calculation, but I believe that there's some sort of strategy that she's implementing. And when you look at in recent times, in recent movements, there was right-wing movements all over the world, whether it's US or Europe or people like where there's a shift towards right-wing conservative nationalism. And you have this person who is black, female, and was raised outside the UK, needing to make the establishment comfortable with the fact that, look, I'm one of you all. I might look different. I might have lived outside the UK for a while, but I'm part of you. I'm very much part of the establishment. And I think it's convenient, that, by the way, my name is Badenoch. My name is Badenoch these days. My name is not Adegoke Badenoch
anymore.
It's Badenoch. It's not, it's not hyphenated. Hillary Rodham Clinton, just what I'm saying was Hillary Rodham Clinton. She didn't drop her maiden name. By all accounts, she was Hillary Rodham until her husband ran for president or something. I don't remember very clearly. Then she had to adopt his own name. But she didn't drop her maiden name. Kemi doesn't use the Adegoke part of it. I also think there's a part of it that her father is late. Maybe if her father was alive, she wouldn't have said the other things that she does say now. But her father's late, so listen, what have you done?
In terms of the accountability part, and many people have chimed in. Professor Bolaji Akinyemi and some other notable Nigerians have said, the part that she's taking is not wise. They've said she lacks wisdom. and they don't even believe that advisors are the ones telling her to do this, that this is something she wants to do. Because like you said, the questions are not even directly at Nigeria, because you are leader of the Conservative Party. Your focus should be on the UK winning the election and helping the economy, which is not in a great shape at the moment. Interest rates are high. The inflation is at 3%. I don't want to go into UK at the moment, but it's not been great for a few years. And that's one of the reasons why the Labour Party won the last election. So the Conservative Party, you're the leader of the Conservative Party. All these kinds of comments are not helping. They're not helping. I don't think that it's strengthening your cause to ever win and become PM.
What do you gain from these things?
That's what I'm saying. What's the value add?
What do you gain from these things? What do you expect to gain from these things you're saying? What's the end goal?
So look at what somebody said. He said, but her failure ultimately is one of competence. She has not improved over time because she cannot accept that she's ever wrong. This is again from the New Statesman. I never have gaffes, she said once in a comment destined to haunt her. I never have to clarify because I think very carefully about what I say. The clip has been reiterated several times by members of the Reform as they have moved past the Tories to become the unofficial opposition to Labour. So if you believe you don't have gaffes, if you do believe you don't make mistakes, which you and I know is not true, and it's not possible as a human being, that tells you a little bit of our mindset. Because if it means if you're stuck on something, because any best, or there's nobody that can speak to you, and like you said, maybe our dads, God rest his soul, might have been the person to play that role, to call out to order and say, what on earth are you doing?
Child, what are you doing?
We are the ones that made the money that give you the opportunity to go to UK at 16. Me and your mother. We hustled, we fought, we invested, we saved, we multiplied our income to be able to say, okay, go to UK and study. So how dare you now denigrate that same country that I made my money? That's still wrong now. Yes, there are areas in the country that are not doing well. What is your identity
outside of Nigeria? How do you tell your story without telling the Nigerian part of it?
Yeah. How do you excise it from your story?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
How is there a version of your story that, I mean, why are you gonna blank out those years of your life? Your 4 grandparents are Nigerian. Are you gonna write them out of your life story? Are you going to write your parents out of your life story? Make it make sense. I really don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, Nigeria is socialist. We're under military rule. It was socialist. Okay. Kemi's almost 50 years old. Kemi is like, what, 40, 46, 45? Why do you need to keep saying these things? Why?
Yeah. What's the value add?
What's the value add?
That's what I've been saying.
You were born in England to Nigerian parents. She's 45 years old. And people are coming out to say, what are you doing? There are other Nigerians saying, look, we're Nigerian too, but this guy, there's a Dutch Nigerian businessman who says, I don't understand what you're doing. And you have Nigerians who are the Nigerians who are born abroad, right? Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke,
Anthony Joshua.
These guys who play, Anthony Joshua. You have people who Chiwetel Ejiofor, David Oloyolowo, who don't deny they're being Nigerian. They don't deny being Nigerian.
And I said something earlier.
Don't shout about it.
Walk and chew gum at the same time. One doesn't have to stop for the other. It's not like you chew gum and you stop walking. You can walk and chew gum. You can be Nigerian and British. You can be Nigerian and American. You can be Nigerian and Russian. You can be Nigerian and French.
Yes, no.
You can be Nigerian and Portuguese.
Yes.
And one doesn't have to give way to the other. That's why there's a term called dual citizenship.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why they put those terms together. so that one doesn't have to suffer for the other. Yes, some countries don't allow that, but Nigeria is not one of such countries that does not allow dual citizenship. So I don't know about you, man. I'm done with this story, man. I know we're going to talk about Kemi again.
I just remember
she's
Hakeem
going to
Olajuwon.
say something, but I'm done with it.
Yeah, I remember Hakeem Olajuwon, Hakeem the Dream, who
Houston
in the days
Rockets
before
legend.
Yeah, Houston Rockets. Before the days before America allowed dual citizenship, Hakeem carried a Nigerian passport, right? And he had a choice: renounce your Nigerian citizenship and become an American citizen. And he didn't do it.
Wow. I didn't know the story.
Oh, he didn't. No, he didn't acquire the American citizenship until he was allowed to have. Until America allowed dual citizenship, he didn't acquire it.
Wow.
And as wealthy as he was, whatever it is, he did.
So that's based on his principle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Hakeem Olajuwon, Hakeem the Dream. Shout out.
I'm even trying to remember. Yes. So he represented the US at the 1996 Olympics, right?
The Dream Team. That's Dream Team 1 now.
Yeah, Dream Team, yes. After he became an American citizen, all right? But if he had dropped, if he had become an American citizen prior to that, I don't know if I'm making sense. I mean, that was the first time.
No, you're making sense. I didn't know this story, so thanks for educating me and
the first time there were pros the Olympics at the Olympic basketball competition. But my point is, he did not, and after Hakeem became American, he did not go back and abuse Nigeria. And he remains an ambassador for the Houston Rockets wherever he goes, right? You can't, there's no need to throw stones at where you're coming from. Well, I'm done here. Kemi, no try. Oh, try. I'm done here.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy our content,
watching us,
please like, subscribe, support our ministry, please. We're Two Grown Men on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Absolutely.
If you want to be part of this show, we're still doing our series on following your passions. If you want to be part of this show, we want to talk about any topic at all, please send us an email at twogrownmen@gmail.com and we'll bring you on the show. You have a question for us, you want to suggest a topic, by all means, send us an email, send us a message, Instagram, wherever it is, and we will feature you on the show, we assure you.
Yep, we definitely will. We definitely will. And follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, as the ticker is showing down below. It's the same handle, Two Grown Men, GROWN Men. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time.